Hey guys, Xbox here, check it out. Yep, we are playing a little Pillars of Destiny 2. Now, I've already beat this game and posted a lot of my different, little adventures going through. So if you guys are curious on how to beat some levels or some bosses, yeah, check them out. Do a little search on my page. Hopefully you guys can try and find them out. I always get a lot of questions, what do I choose or how do I gear my main character? And, everybody plays different. As you guys know me, I like to use just kind of a straight damage dealer, but with a little bit of tankiness. I did it a lot with Skyrim. My two-handed damage dealer, he seemed to do well because he can just blunt force people down and kind of run away and, have that kind of double heal. But anyways, let's talk about this game. As you guys can kind of see here, my guy's just a standard fighter, right? With a little bit of warrior as well as a little bit of gladiator. And he's probably not the tankiest of all people you can build. But again, I tried doing that balance where he has enough health and armor, but he does a lot of DPS and has a lot of survivability because, again, you can just kind of tank just potions all day long. And, of course, my music comes back. But I want to go over some of my items just again so you guys can kind of see what I got here. So first things first is I'm going to take a look at kind of my other set item here, the Magnran's Favor. I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but this is a great weapon. You guys get this, actually, I think it's way in the upper left-hand corner of the map. Legendary, a lot of damage, 25 to 37. I tried looking online, and if you guys know a place where you can see the best weapons for, one-handed and two-handed, let me know. I just couldn't find it. But this is like almost an OP weapon, but the boss to get it was kind of hard to beat. But you can see, of course, you get that plus 60 damage bonus, of course, when it's legendary. Blazing Core is huge on this thing, plus 2 to all firepower levels. 15% of burn damage dealt by the weapon actually heals the user. So if you got a decent amount of armor and a decent amount of health, it's very hard to kill somebody with this axe because they keep, they don't take a lot of damage and they keep getting it right back. But then, of course, Enduring Flame, 6 burn damage per 1 second for 4 seconds to a target scoring a crit, plus 15 damage is burned. So this kind of stacks as you guys hit. That's why this weapon is just so good. I mean, I guess you could probably put it on like a one-handed guy, but I wanted to deal it on both just because I wanted him to deal a lot of damage, get that health back, as well as enhance any burn effects that I may have on my guy here. Now, second, I got this one. This is kind of the opposite. This is Graves Calling. So this does ice damage. So you kind of got best of both worlds, right? Ice damage, fire damage, on both sides in case you have an enemy that maybe has some type of resistance to fire or ice. So you can see here, again, it is legendary, which is nice, plus 60 damage. Vessel Seeking, plus 15 accuracy against vessel targets, which I don't think I've fought any. You can, the Calling, of course, summon the Grave Imp on killing a vessel, which I didn't really kill any. But this is what I really wanted right here, is you get plus 2% freeze damage, which I don't have a lot of normal freeze damage, but this would go good like on a mage or a fire mage on the other one, but I just kept it on my main character. Also, you get freeze damage for 60 seconds, and this is what's good. So on a hit, this can stack 15 times. So you can essentially get 30% freeze damage for over 60 seconds, which is huge on the longer boss fights, right? That damage is going to tick up so you guys can actually, right, kill the boss over time if you can survive. And that's how I killed a lot of my bosses, is since my guy was so tanky, this thing just kept ticking up, and you kind of had this massive extra damage done over time the longer you kind of healed out your fight. Now, for my guy, I also picked up the Dragon's Pendant. And some of you guys are probably going, well, this is okay. And you're right, it's okay. But the biggest one here is you get this, Grant's Call of the Clutch and Grant's Breath of Flames. And if you guys are curious, you guys can kind of see what it does there. But this is the big one. So you can use it to call worms and drake to your aid. So you can summon them into battle. And, it's just another way to do a lot of damage. So you can call up the drake comes out, does a lot of damage. With my enchanter, you guys can see with him, you can call up a skeleton and things like that. So the enemies are trying to fight these other right, NPCs that aren't you, so you guys can just heal right back up. So that is definitely a good one. Of course, I haven't enchanted this yet. I was going to do it later, but of course, the Painted Plate, which is really good, legendary heavy armor. It's really good. I mean, 20% chance to stun an attacker for 2 seconds when hit with a melee weapon. That is ridiculous, but you'll see on the enchants, constant rebound is really good, right? So you go to 30%, which is even more ridiculous. There's a couple other good ones in here, depending on what your kind of build is on your guy. But for me, I was going to go with constant rebound. But again, I haven't chose it yet just because I wasn't sure what the new DLC was going to offer as far as kind of enemies and, weapons go. Now, of course, the boots, you also get these in Harbinger's Watch, the new DLC that just happened, which is great. You get kind of Beast of Winter. Beast of Winter, it basically, when you run around, it leaves kind of a trail on the ground, and then anybody kind of walking through them, right, they don't walk as fast. It hobbles them. It's nice. Are there better boots out there? Yeah. I just stuck it on them again because they were kind of the new thing, right? And they look kind of cool. Look at it, like these little hooves. But anyways, we can look at this one. I'm gonna skip over that. We can see the Eye of Rhymegrand. This is super good, guys. This is what you guys get when you actually try to beat the last boss on the latest DLC. So you can see the users and their allies become shrouded by the Eye of Rhymegrand, granting them veal touched. They take less damage from, can't be critically hit by attacks without the veal piercing keywords. So it is crazy. I mean, it's really, really good to have, especially on a damage dealer like mine, because you kind of get just free hits, and with all that kind of health regain, you can gain it all right back. Again, my Nikot's Cloak, it's all right. You can see here, you get a lot of triggers when he falls below 75%, or he falls below 50%, or he falls below 25%. You get a lot of triggers here that happen, and that's why I really like this cloak, is because, again, it's very hard to kill my main character here, especially with all that life gain. Of course, these are just some generic Gate Crasher gloves. Reeling Blow isn't that bad. It does a cone attack that sends targets flying backwards. I wish I could get a different pair of gloves that are a little bit better, but these are the ones that I had. Just, again, it did great for kind of everything before the Harbinger's Watch DLC that just happened, because really you can't really hit back some of the bosses, but hey, nonetheless. Of course, you guys already know this. This is, I don't even know how you say that, Concealhot's Skull. This is the one that keeps saying stuff all the time, right? Hey, you should have thrown away that hagfish. It does all of that constantly. Kind of annoying, but hey, what can you do? But again, I just wanted to quickly talk about just my character in general, right? There is a lot of items you guys can see here that we kind of picked up along the way. I might switch him over to a one-handed and a shield just to make him a little more tankier. But again, there is just a lot of good items in the game that we just will mix and match with. I'll go over the rest of the build probably later on to kind of show you what I have and what I have for these guys. But definitely subscribe, guys. Let us know, or let me know, if there is a section somewhere where I can kind of see where the best items are for the game. I just can't find it online. So a big thanks to all you guys Xbox fans out there. Thanks again.